Undeniable challenges. If you disagree, prove it. The truth is simple. God's law is unchangeable. It was spoken by his own lips, written by his own hand, and established from the foundation of creation. Yet the world has accepted a change to his Sabbath without any command from God. So today, I challenge every skeptic and non-believer. If you disagree, prove it. Who dared to rewrite God's law? Find the verse or admit the truth. God personally spoke all 10 commandments, Exodus 21, and the Bible declares, "My covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips." Psalm 89:34. If God never changed the Sabbath, then who did? Who had the authority to override the words of the Almighty? If you claim the Sabbath was changed, find the verse. Not your pastor's opinion, not church tradition. Find the verse where God himself changed his law. If you can't, then admit the truth. Someone tampered with God's law. If God engraved it in stone, why do you believe in ink? When God wanted to establish his law, he didn't write it on parchment. He didn't send it through a prophet. He wrote it in stone. And he gave unto Moses 2 tables of testimony, tables of stone, written with the finger of God. Exodus 31:18. Stone means permanence. It means unchangeable. Yet, centuries later, men wrote in ink that the Sabbath was transferred to Sunday. Tell me, which carries more weight? God's finger on stone or human ink on paper? The Sabbath stands unshaken. Find the change or stop lying to yourself. The Sabbath existed from the very beginning, and on the 7th day God ended his work, and he blessed the 7th day and sanctified it. Genesis 2:2-3. Not only was it kept in Eden, but it was kept in heaven before sin entered the world and will be kept for eternity. From one Sabbath to another shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. Isaiah 66:23. So, I ask you, where is the verse that says God changed it? If you can't find it, then stop lying to yourself. The Sabbath stands unshaken. It was never changed by God. God swore never to alter his words. Are you calling him a liar? God himself declared, "I am the Lord, I change not." Malachi 3:6. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. Matthew 24:35. If God swore he would never alter his words, but you say he changed the Sabbath, then who is telling the truth? God says he does not change. You say he changed the Sabbath. So I ask you again, are you calling God a liar? Did God change the Sabbath, or did you just inherit a lie? Many of you never questioned this. You were born into tradition. You were taught Sunday was the Lord's day, without ever asking, did God say this, or did man? The Bible warns, "In vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men." Matthew 15:9. If God didn't change it, but your church taught you differently, what does that mean? Could it be that you have simply inherited a lie? Where is God's new stone tablet? Show it or admit the deception. If God changed the Sabbath, then where is his new commandment? The first was written in stone. The first was spoken by his own voice. The first was kept by Jesus, the apostles, and the early church. Where is the stone tablet that says, "The first day of the week is now holy"? If you can't find it, then admit the deception. The change came from man, not God. If the judge's verdict stands forever, who authorized the appeal? Imagine a courtroom where the judge gives his final ruling. Suddenly, years later, people claim the ruling has changed, but there is no record of the judge making a new decision. Would any court accept this? No. Now consider God, the supreme judge. He spoke the Sabbath commandment. He wrote it in stone. He declared it eternal. Who appealed his decision? Who had the authority to overturn his final verdict? If you cannot prove that God authorized an appeal, then his original judgment stands. If God set the Sabbath in creation, who had the power to move it? The Sabbath was not just a Jewish law, it was a creation law. God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it. Genesis 2:3. Did a church? A council? A pope? If they did, then they claimed an authority greater than God's. Why is there not a single verse saying, I, the Lord, now bless the first day instead of the seventh? Find it or stop defending a falsehood. Truth or tradition? The challenge. No Sunday keeper can escape. You have a choice. Follow God's truth. Follow human tradition. Jesus himself warned, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? Matthew 15:3. If you say you love God, then obey him. If you say you follow Christ, then follow his example. If you cannot find one single verse where God changed the Sabbath, then why do you still defend it? This is the challenge no Sunday keeper can escape. If you disagree, prove it.